there is any politician I really admire in this country, then that politician is none other than the Narok Senator, Ledama Olekina. This is a man who would always pursue whatever he wants, regardless of the consequences. I really admire him, and this is not the first time I'm stating this on this platform. Yesterday, Ledama Olekina caused a huge upset within the political circles in this country. He was elected the chairperson of the County Public Accounts and Investment Committee of the Senate. He defeated Sam Ongeri. The ODM party had supported and proposed Sam Ongeri for the chairmanship. Now, this is what normally happens in the Public Accounts Committee of the Senate. Political parties recommend members to this committee. So ODM party recommended the name of Ledama Olekina. They recommended the name of Senator Sam Ongeri. They recommended the name of, because Kajwang was leaving, they recommended the name of Ochilo Ayako. Then they recommended the name of Johannes Mwaruma, who is the senator for Taita Taveta. And within these people, because Public Accounts Committee is supposed to be headed by the minority party, amongst these four people, one was supposed to take the chairmanship. So the ODM party wanted Sam Ongeri to take over the chairmanship. And I'm going to explain why it was a matter of life and death for Sam Ongeri to win that seat. But at the Senate, there was a different ballgame. On the Jubilee side, they also recommended certain names, because the previous list, also some other guys were leaving. So on Jubilee side, because ODM now had four, on Jubilee side, there were Wamatangi, the Kiambu senator. Then there was Mithika Linturi, the Meru senator, that's 2. Then there was Millicent Omanga, the nominated senator, 3. Then there was Irungu Kenyatta, 4. Then there was another one here. There was another Godana, the Masabit senator. Then there's supposed to be 6. No, there are those 5. So Jubilee side had 5 names. ODM had 4 names. But the chairperson had to come from ODM. So ODM had figured out these 4 members, they are going to vote for Ongeri. And then in exchange on the other side, they were going to propose Irungu Kenyatta, who was a new member into that committee. So if Irungu Kenyatta was going to vote for them, so this side was going to have 5 votes. Then what is going to happen? They were going to have 5 votes. So the other side was going to have 4. So they were easily going to win. So everybody, including Ledama, agreed that's how they were going to do it. And of course, if ODM wanted to lock him out, they would have proposed a different name. So they went for voting. So at the voting, certain factors started playing. At the voting, Ledama now went and voted with Jubilee. And because Jubilee, there were 5, Kenyatta came and voted with this other side. So Ledama left, so which means the vote was still 5-4. And that's how Ledama won. But again, if you look at this thing critically, something played out. And this is why I sometimes pity the Orange Democratic Movement. Ledama Olekina is surely one of their loyal supporters. One of the firebrand politicians on their side. So the moment Olekina managed to outwit them, they should have been the first people to congratulate Ledama Olekina. Because look at it, the way I'm looking at it. Senator Sam Ongeri was a member of this committee before, when Kajwang was the chair. The people who voted against Sam Ongeri are people who are his key supporters. I mean, are people who are with him in the previous committee. These are people who were with Sam Ongeri in the previous committee. Wamatangi was in that previous committee. Millicent Omanga was in that previous committee. Linturi was in that committee. Olekina was in that committee. So basically, it means there's a problem with Sam Ongeri. Sam Ongeri, at his age, you would have expected these guys to really respect him as an elder. But all these previous people they were with decided to vote the other side. I think what Ongeri and the rest did, they underrated something. That Wamatangi was part of this team before. And remember, Wamatangi has been accused severally by people of taking bribes. So he understands the power of this committee. Omanga, ni team Tanga. It was easier for Omanga to be convinced to vote the other side with the other team. So if this team of Orengo was serious, what they ought to have done, in my view, was to have gone for Wamatangi. Then vote for Wamatangi. Because if you look at all these things, a pattern came up. And that pattern is simply the people in the previous committee wanted to retain everything. They wanted to retain the chairmanship and they wanted to retain the vice chairmanship. This Ongeri team wanted to come but bring a new vice chair. And that's how this old team, the previous team, managed to win. But this particular election was so dear to Sam Ongeri in so many ways. Number one, the chair of the PAC committee normally raises the profile of the individual. If you look at the previous chairs, the previous chair was, we've had Boni Halwale was a chair. His profile was really shot up when he was the chair of that PAC committee. The next chair was Anyang' Nyong'o. Again, the profile of Anyang' Nyong'o was really high when he was the chair of that committee. Then came in Moses Kajwang. The profile of Moses Kajwang shot up to the roof when he became the chair of this committee. So Ongeri had hoped that by being elected to the chair of this committee, his profile was going to rise again at the national level and at the county level. And you know, Ongeri is planning to run for the gubernatorial seat in Kisii. So it was going to give him an advantage because he would say, okay, he was going to work so well, ensure a few governors are given problems here. So people will view him as someone, as the solution to the devolution. So he really needed this to increase his profile. That's number one. Number two, resources. Let's face it. PAC, be it for the National Assembly or be it for the Senate, those are avenues of eating. If a governor is summoned today, we've had cases where a governor was summoned and then some members went and picked money, according to the senators themselves. So by the time they realize it's late, the case is gone. So this is an opportunity it was going to be an opportunity for Ongeri to raise campaign funds for his bid. But what message do I have for the ODM party? Now let me begin by the message which James Orengo wrote, the letter. This is the letter which Orengo wrote. Orengo is writing, election of the leadership of the County Public Accounts Committee, Accounts and Investment Committee. He's saying, He's saying, I normally have problem reading directly from the phone. Sorry, I'm using a phone. I express and register dissatisfaction with the conduct and outcome of elections of the leadership of the County Public Accounts and Investment Committee, which were purportedly done today. We intend to withdraw our membership from the said committee until appropriate resolution is made. Sincerely, James Orengo. So James Orengo wrote this letter to the speaker, and he wrote this letter in his capacity as the leader of the minority. And just like I said, this position belonged to the leader of the majority. But outside there today, because this was purely a parliamentary affair, if ODM didn't want Olekina to be in that committee, they would not have submitted the name. But look here, the ODM as a political party submitted the name of Olekina. The expectation was that Orengo was either going to campaign for the candidate. If they had a candidate, they were going to campaign for that candidate. But they failed to do that. So that's the biggest mistake of ODM. And someone was asking me, if these guys cannot manage an election of 9 members, this election involved only 9 members. And the ODM are complaining. They are complaining. How can we expect them to run the country, for example? Someone asked me that question, and I didn't know how to answer him. Because my understanding is that the moment ODM named those 4 individuals, the moment they named Olekina, the moment they named Ongeri, the moment they named Ayako, the moment they named the Taita Taveta Mwaruma as members of that committee. So it means those were the best. Those are the people they chose in that committee. And it therefore meant that any of those 4 members could actually be elected the chair. So if they didn't want any, then there would have been no point of submitting the names of those people. That's number 1. And I've seen members, ODM members, really supporting Olekina. Because again, it exposes a rift between the ODM old guards and the ODM new guards. And I'm going to post a link on a post which was made by Wafula Buke on vuguvugu.com, one of our websites which we've developed. You're going to read, I'm going to put the link down there. Wafula Buke has actually captured it. What happened there? So you read that article. But my view is that ODM as a political party, in my view, ought to have been the first to embrace that election of Olekina. Because by failing to embrace the election of Olekina, they're now giving supporters questions. People are now asking whether ODM is committed and why they're trying to betray Olekina. The other question people are asking is, why are they not embracing this man? If today I were Raila Odinga, or I was someone who is handling his communication, I would have been the first to congratulate Olekina. Because any ODM member knows who Olekina is. This is a guy who doesn't care. I would have used the word, some F word there, sorry. He doesn't care. For those who remember, when ODM and NASA senators decided to kick out Moses Wetangula from the minority leader, the man who wanted to take that seat by force was Olekina. So Olekina is not new to controversy. During that time, and I remember it so well, Olekina came out gun blazing, and he was ready to even forcefully eject Wetangula from the seat. And that day he entered into parliament na ile rungu ya Masai. But after Wetangula was kicked out, Orengo was allowed to sit as the minority leader. Because senators felt Orengo was more senior. And Olekina was the first to support. So my expectation would have been Orengo would have been the first to support Olekina. If anything, anytime, for those who follow politics, anytime Orengo is outside here campaigning, even during the BBI rallies, they are always with Olekina. Orengo is always with Olekina in their chopper. They are always together. So I would have expected Orengo to embrace Olekina. ODM political party has now given Tanga an opportunity to brag. So people who don't know that this election was for 9 members and now believes that probably it was for the whole house, which is not the case. The case is the ODM as a political parties were disorganized. The moment you are 4 and the other guys are 5, if you know and you are backing on getting just 1, if ODM was sure of 2 votes from the other side, so it means even if Olekina had went there, then this other side would have been easier for them. But now for them, they convinced only 1 because they believed Olekina was one of them, and Olekina saw opportunity. And for that, let me take this opportunity to congratulate one man, Ledama Olekina, for winning democratically to become the chair of the County Public Accounts and Investment Committee. Congratulations, Mheshimiwa. And if you're bumping on this video for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and hit the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, you get notified. And again, our website, vuguvugu.com, is now up. So it's now up. We'll try to update it, any upcoming news. So anybody who would want to analyze anything, you have the platform. Just reach me out on how you can do it. I'll always post it. Whether it's critical of Raila, whether it's critical of Uhuru, whether it's critical of Ruto, whether it's supporting all of them, just drop me the deal. I mean, your thoughts. Then I'll always post all of them. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day.